Hey guys, Vince coming to you from the Zan Garden, and it is that wonderful time of year where we get to start planting our summer gardens. And it's important to consider plant support right from the very start. So today I'm going to go over a few of the basic and a couple of the not so basic ways that we can support our plants as they grow throughout the season. Starting out really basic, you have a stake. Some of the pros, it's cheap, it's simple, they're reusable year after year. It's not going to work well for everything. For example, a tomato loves a stake because you need to support that tomato main stalk and get it to grow straight up. But it's got such heavy fruits and heavy branches, the stake is not going to do well when it comes to supporting that tomato all season. Things like an okra, maybe pole beans, something along that nature that's going to be a lot lighter and not need as much support, that's good for a stake. Next we have our basic tomato cage. These are great. There's a reason that they're so popular. They come in a few different sizes, they're pretty inexpensive, and because they're metal, they're super supportive for your plants. They work great for things like peppers. One of the things that we have noticed, as I mentioned with the stake, is that if you don't give that tomato something straight to grow up, the stem might grow a little wonky like this, and it may not support itself if it's an indeterminate variety and it's going to get really tall and really big. So sometimes we'll use a cage like this with a tomato, but we'll also use a stake to help it grow straight up. This is a modular stake that you can buy at any hardware store, home improvement store, and they're great. So it comes with 3 stakes and a bunch of these little plastic arms that you can click off and move around as needed. Now, some of the pros of this is that it's super modular and it's super versatile. As the plant is small, I can put a lot more of the supports down near the bottom, and as the plant grows and needs support higher up, I can just click these off and move them up. It also, because it's a triangle, it's super strong. It doesn't really want to tip over in any one direction. It's pretty well contained. One of the negatives we've noticed when using this stake is that these plastic arms, again, if you have a heavy fruit like a big slicing tomato and you've got healthy plants, that's a lot of weight hanging on the edge of those branches. And we've noticed that these things will slide and it sometimes actually pop off, allowing our tomato plants to collapse under the weight of their own fruit. So that's a negative to using something like this. One of the things I really love about it is that modular aspect of it. This year I've used them to create a bean trellis. So instead of putting them in a triangle, I've lined them all out, and I think the beans are going to grow right up it like a really nice trellis. Same thing, as they're small, all the support's at the bottom. As they get older, I move it to the top. The last plant support that I'm going to talk about today is one that I kind of designed myself this spring. And it's a combination of some of those 3-sided modular tomato stakes that I showed you a moment ago, and some roll wire fencing that a friend of ours gave us. It's just 3-foot roll wire fencing, scrap. I cut it into 5-foot lengths and then folded it flat. Ran these pipes down the side, and I've got this 3-sided support. And my hope is that this steel frame is going to be much stronger than these little plastic arms on that 3-sided tomato support, and that it's going to really support the weight of the fruit all season long. I also think it's going to give it the vertical and lateral support to keep it from blowing down in these heavy Virginia thunderstorms that we get around here. I'm pretty optimistic, but I don't know. So we'll see how it goes. I'll keep you posted.